Over the past 130 years, the Jehovah's Witnesses have been helped by a governing body whose membership...
Hello, everybody.
You know, this guy reminds me of somebody. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. Who does he remind us of?
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits?
Yeah, that's it. That's who he reminds me of.
Peter Boyle and Young Frankenstein.
God rest his soul.
Oh,
we've really been having some interesting things with the Ask the Elders.
He worked so hard after doing that 2-part one this morning that he had to go take a nap.
Yeah, I did. I took a nap all afternoon. For those that have already watched the latest installation of Ask the Elders, we get into 1 Corinthians 15:33 a little bit. And I just kind of want to reiterate something. I was cleaning out my rendezvous clothing today, getting ready to go do a Boy Scout thing here in the next couple of weeks. And I came across the Cowboy Bible.
The little tiny mini Bible.
It's just something at a rendezvous that people that are involved with the Cowboy Church gave me. And it just so happens to be that 1 Corinthians 15:33 is in this Bible. So what's this make, number 29 now?
28, 29.
But 1 Corinthians 15:33, oh yeah, it's in quotation marks. So Watchtower, strike 3, you're done.
Yeah.
So what are we really here for in this video here?
Okay, so I want to thank Lori Watts because she sent us this news item, and I apologize that we haven't been able to do it because he has been working so much that he comes home, he eats, and then he is out.
Darn.
We haven't had a chance to do the video before now. So let me pull it up here. I'm just going to read it right from, and this is the IthacaVoice.com.
And that's Ithaca, New York.
Yes, this is Ithaca, New York. In Lansing's Kingdom Farm sells, averting development concerns. Now, we did a video, probably about a month and a half ago, about a chunk that they sold off to an environmental corporation.
I thought that was last week we did that.
It wasn't last week.
Man, I tell you, I got to quit working so much. All these days are just running together.
Yeah, it's been at least a month. But anyway, they sold a chunk to this environmental company, and some have been looking into that and asking questions of this environmental company
but apparently they're selling more Watchtower Farms property.
Yeah, Lansing, New York. Lansing and Tompkins County residents concerned about suburban sprawl. I gotta pull this over here. I gotta cover Mikey's face on the camera.
That's okay.
Can cross one potential problem off their list. Lansing's Kingdom Farm property has been sold to Cayuga County dairy farmer. The Kingdom Farm property is a 528.1 acre parcel bordering Buck Road, Route 34, Auburn Road, and Peruville Road in Lansing Town. The sale was completed Tuesday for the price of $2.8 million, according to Tompkins County records, or about $5,300 an acre. And remember that figure. They sold it for about $5,300 an acre, because that will come into play later in the article. The Kingdom Farm property has been a source of interest and concern for Lansing residents. The property had been in the ownership of the Watchtower Bible Tract Society, a branch of Jehovah's Witnesses who have owned the farm since 1935. Now, there's been a little bit of debate, between us friends and on Facebook, because some think it's the entire farms with the entire complex and everything. We don't know. All I'm doing is reading the article, and, it does at one point sound like it's just a parcel of land, but then it does mention, so you'll have to make up your own mind. All right, the property had been, I already read that. who have owned the farm since 1935 and have previously used the property as a self-supporting community and educational facility. So that kind of sounds like it's the entire buildings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
When the Kingdom Farm property went up for sale this past October, the asking price of $3 million was largely believed to be out of reach of local farmers who normally pay less than $3,000 an acre. Okay, now remember, up above in the article, it said that they sold it for about $5,300 an acre. Greedy bloodsuckers. Okay. Concern was expressed that the property would be picked up by real estate developers for residential development, a premise that is nothing new to Kingdom Farm parcel. In spring of 2007, members of the Watchtower Society proposed a massive development of the site. They were wanting to remodel it, consisting of 500 new residences, retail, and other commercial space, and the Watchtower Society entered into an agreement with the town of Lansing to contribute $1.5 million to a sewer project in exchange for a predetermined amount of sewer capacity to the property. Sounds like they were wanting to make it a headquarters.
Oh, sounds like they're doing a little bit of political bargaining here.
Yeah.
They're not politically neutral.
Yeah. If the sewer plan was approved by the town. When the sewer plan was shelved, the agreement was voided and no development occurred. According to the Lansing Star, when the current property went up for sale with its high asking price, there was considerable debate as to whether the town of Lansing should step in to keep the property agricultural, either through helping a local farmer buy the property, working with the Finger Lakes Land Trust to develop an agricultural easement, or other means. While there has been recent discussion in the town planning board of an agricultural protection plan, there's no indication that the town was involved with the sale of the property. Yeah.
Interesting.
While the news will generally be accepted as good to those opposed to suburban sprawl, the Star article from last fall notes that some residents were frustrated that a
Cayuga County farm,
which tend to be larger and have more money to spend on land, may buy the property and take it out of local ownership. According to the records, the buyers of the Kingdom Farm property are Dale and Colleen Mattoon, dairy farmers from the southern Cayuga County town of Locke, which shares a border with Lansing. Now this is interesting here. As a positive benefit to Lansing town, the property was tax exempt when under the ownership of the Watchtower Society. The sale of the property returns the farm to the tax rolls for the first time in 80 years. The county most recently assessed the property at a value of $2.2 million. Now, I think it would be nice if other towns now would take the hint and say, hey, you know what? If we don't allow witnesses in here with their tax-exempt status, we can keep this a commercial property and get the...
generate tax revenue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, we also did a video, was it last week or the week before? Why am I asking you?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
Why am I asking you? Anyway, a while back we did a video when we were talking about a town who was upset because Watchtower was buying up their property, up there in the Warwick area.
The motels and...
Yeah. And I ain't going to even try to pronounce that town. Gumaguk. Yeah. So, anyway, I wanted to make a correction. I didn't finish reading a very important part that was in the article. Now, you can go to our website, watchtower.exposed, and read, I have the blog, and then the link to the entire article is down there below. But I wanted to make a correction that the town was trying to get rid of their tax exemption status because they were prefabbing bathrooms, and that's what we mentioned. But I forgot to mention that the town, Watchtower appealed this to the town. So they took them to court, and the town admitted they did not have the money or lawyers to fight them. So they get to keep their tax status. So how does this look to all of the residents and stuff that know that the town took Watchtower, to court on this, and Watchtower comes in with all their big bad lawyers, and endless pockets. and basically screwed this town out of the money.
Tax revenue.
Yeah.
Yep, by claiming their nonprofit status, by having a building that they're
Is doing construction.
doing
A commercial endeavor.
prefabricating bathrooms.
How they could prefab a bathroom, I don't know. Because I've been in construction my entire life. And I don't know how you can prefab cutting a hole in the floor.
I don't know. All I know is that, you know, these sneaky devils, Watchtower and Babel Trap Society, seem to have the corner on the market of getting away with not paying their fair share of taxes, and they're using every single little loophole that the government is stupid enough to provide them with.
Yeah. And that's why we have issues with Brumley, like at the beginning of this
Yeah.
video, because he's one of their blood-sucking lawyers. In fact, he's the one that they did an interview with in the recent GW broadcast of how he was a jerk when he started going to school to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
It didn't change.
Nope. So anyhow,
Love you all. Thank you for your comments and emails. And yes, as usual, I'm behind, so I will hopefully get those.
you keep saying that. You're never going to get caught up.
I know it. I know it. Even with 2 computers, I just can't keep up because there's only one of me. So maybe one of these days when you retire,
Maybe. Who knows?
I'll have an assistant.
Goodbye, everybody.
You all have a great weekend.